With 100,000 people crammed onto a single hillside, it's hardly surprising that Rocinha has a reputation for being a tough place, and one that people are always saying bad things about. What does Clotilda, Leandro's mother, think about that?
What do I think? I think they're mistaken. Sure, there are lots of bad things, but there are lots of good things too. There are good things like people getting on well with their neighbours. The bad things are the criminals. They kill innocent people who have nothing to do with the crime. They beat people up. But Rocinha is better than it was. In the past there were criminals all over the place. People were scared to go out and leave their children at home. But now it's better.
And Leandro, what does she want for him?
I would like him to study and work hard. Life isn't easy. You have to work and fight for what you want. I don't want him carting things round on a building site. I want him to make something of his life.
Overcrowding is not just a problem for Rocinha. It's become a serious issue for the whole city. The sea and the mountains may give Rio its glamorous look, but on the other hand, they also hem the city in. Twice a day, Rio grinds to a halt as the rush hour takes the city over. To try and keep the traffic moving, tunnels have been bored through the hills that cut off one part of the city from the other. Not that long ago, Rio went looking for more space for a brand new tunnel which starts beneath the shops in the city centre. At the end of the tunnel, the road goes up on stilts clinging to the cliffs. And then into another tunnel. 20 kilometers out from Rio, the road finally breaks free of the last range of hills, and there it is. Precious flat land and a brand new city called Baja. Or, in the minds of some people, the new Rio de Janeiro. This area was practically empty 15 years ago. It's now home to 130,000 people, the vast majority of whom have moved out of Rio itself. Baja is no suburb. It's a proper city, full of entertainment and leisure facilities. As is common in the USA, the city is built along a motorway. There are 5 kilometers of shops and shopping malls. Baja claims to be the largest shopping center in South America. It's also been called the California of Brazil.
There are wide variations in the quality of life in cities like Rio de Janeiro, and this is one of the key points you need to revise. Here are the others. For many of the migrants who have moved to Rio de Janeiro, life in a favela can be an improvement on life in rural areas. People living in squatter settlements like Rocinha gradually improve the quality of their houses. This can take a long time, as improvements can only be done after work. To do this, every member of the family has to earn in order that more building materials can be bought. The quality of life in favelas can be improved through self-help in partnership with the city authorities. They help the people living there to put in basic services such as sewerage systems and clean water. This is the only way for people to improve their own quality of life. Meanwhile, counter-urbanization is also taking place in Rio de Janeiro, as some of the more affluent people have moved out to edge cities, such as Baja. Baja has more space and is a modern city. Most people have moved there from Rio to find a better quality of life. Here's another exam question for you to try. Describe the attempts that have been made to improve the quality of life in cities in less economically developed countries. You should refer to examples that you have studied. Pause here to write up your answer. How did you do? People living in squatter settlements like Rocinha in Rio de Janeiro gradually improved the quality of their houses. This takes a long time, as improvements can only be made out of working hours. Self-help schemes may solve the problem. This is where the local authority provides the basic infrastructure and services for home improvements. This section looked at the quality of life and how it can be improved in two very different cities. Make sure you understand what the problems are and what is being done to try to solve them, so that you can use these case studies to answer your exam questions. You can always rewind the tape and replay the section as many times as you want.